Hello guys, this is Shivani Sharma and this is my fifth video on the operating system. And the previous video will describe the several structure of the operating system. In this video we will describe the components of the operating system. Okay, so we have several types of components of the system. Let us discuss. We can create a system as large and complex as an operating system only by partitioning it into smaller pieces. Each of these pieces should be well carefully defined inputs, outputs, and functions. Obviously, not all systems have the same structure. However, many modern systems share the goal of supporting the type of system component. Okay, so first component is process management. A program does nothing unless its instructions are executed by a CPU. A process can be thought of as a program in execute. A process needs certain resources. Obviously, process needs certain resources, including CPU time, memory files, and input and output devices to accomplish its task. These resources are either given to the process when it is created or allocated to it while it is running. When we will give these resources? When the process is running. Okay? When it is created or allocated. So, a process is the unit of work in a system. Such, a system consists of a collection of processes, some of which are operating system processes, those that execute system code. Some of the processes are the operating system processes, and the rest which are user processes. User processes are what? Which processes? Those that execute user code. So all the processes can potentially execute concurrently by multiplexing the CPU among them. So the operating system is responsible for the following activities in connection with the process management: the creation and deletion of both user and system processes, the suspension and resumption of processes, the provision of mechanism for process synchronization and process communication, and for deadlock handling, etc. Now, memory management, then main memory management is a central to the operation of a modern computer system. Main memory is a large area of words, word of bytes has its own address. The central process reads instructions from main memory during the instruction fetch cycle, and both reads and write data from main memory is generally the only large storage device that the CPU is able to address and access directly. For example, for the CPU to process data from disk, the data must first be transferred to main memory by CPU generated input calls. Equivalently, instruction must be in main memory for the CPU to execute them. Here is the word input output calls. We are not discussing about their calls, but in the next video we will discuss about the calls. So we will discuss this up. Then the OS is responsible for the following activities in connection with memory management: keep track of which parts of memory are currently being used and by whom. Okay, memory in the memory management, what should be managed? It will be managed. Keep track of which part of memory are currently being used and by whom. Decide which process are to be loaded into memory when memory spaces becomes available, and allocate and deallocate memory space as needed. Then file management. We already know a file is a collection of related information defined by its creator commonly. File represent programs, both sources and object forms, and data. Data files may be numeric, alphabetic, or alphanumeric files may be freeform, such as 10 files, or may be formatted rigidly. A file consists of sequence of bits, bytes, lines, or records whose meaning are defined by their creators. The OS implement the abstract concept of a file by managing mass storage media such as tapes and disks, and the devices which central them. Also, files are normally organized into direction to easy their use. So the OS is responsible for the following outputs in the connections with the files management. So the creation deletion of files, creation deletion of directories, support of primitives for input secondary storage, backup of files or stable storage, media, and the input-output system management. Now, the input-output system management, a computer system has several input-output devices connected to it. Each input-output device has a specific hardware design drive associated, and as a specific device drivers are a set of small programs that control the overall operator of a particular device, also act as an interface between the hardware device and the operating system without a device driver. So the OS would not be able to communicate with the input-output device. Whenever any program or user requires any input-output device, the operating system sends this request to this specific device driver, which in turn performs the required read or write operations. So the OS is responsible for the following activities in the connection with the input-output system management. Keep track of the input-output requests from various programs or users, issue command to the input-output devices, help in data transmissions to and from input-output device, perform buffering, caching and spooling as required, control allocation, access and deallocation of devices, networking. So networking is mainly connected to distributed system. The communication between any two computers in a distributed system takes place with the help of message passing over the communication network. The computer in a distributed system can be a pool of different size and types of computer, where some of them can be mini computer, some microcomputers, etc. So the operating system is responsible for the following activity in the connection with networking. It allows information and data sharing among distributed users, allows various resource sharing, higher throughputs and small response time, high reliability, better flexibility in meeting user needs from simple to complex. And the next is protection. Protection system plays a vital role in a multi-user and multi-process system. In a multi-users environment, several users are executing concurrently. In both the cases, it is a responsibility of the operating system provider proper protection system that ensure the various system resources like CPU, memory, input-output devices, etc. are well protected from unauthorized access. For example, each process must run in its own allocated memory space. Allocation of CPU is under proper control of operating system. Input-output devices request is handled by CPU so that device control and register are not accessible to the user and the integrity of the peripheral devices is protected. Next, command interpreter system. Command interpreter system is a special system program that acts as an interface between the user and the operating system. How can we interact our operating system? With the help of commands. So command interpretation hides the unnecessary detail of the system from the user. Command interpreter accepts the instruction given by the user and communicate by these instructions to the operating system the required job done. Some operating systems provide tent-based interface such as MS-DOS and Unix shell, and some provide GUI such as Macintosh and Microsoft Windows. In tent-based interface, the user gives instruction to the computer by typing the command using a keyboard. GUI graphical user interface is more user-friendly and provide ease of use. GUI consists of icons and menus. The user can click on the icons using mouse to open the file, directory, applications, etc. So guys, this is all about the components of the systems, and in the next video we will discuss about the services of the operating system. And this video is really very helpful for the notes. Okay, thank you so much.